No introduction needed here. Here with the great Jay Cutler, four-time Mr. Olympia, and going on 5. Took my first question right out, Jay. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, going for 5. 2013's here. You know, a lot of talk last year. Of course, leading up to last year's contest, didn't make it. Now, of course, all the talk, Jay's coming back for 13. 13 is here. First big show of the season, so here we are, Arnold Classic.
The strive for 5, Jay. Now, we've talked many times in the past about, possibly equaling. People thought maybe you would have gone in the Arnold even because you wanted 4 and 4, that type of thing. But you want just that one more title?
Yeah, you know what? I did actually consider going in the Arnold, and I would have loved to have gone and competed here, but I was doing a whole crazy bus tour with BPI Sports, and of course now launching into 13. We're here now with the coming soon of the Jay Cutler Elite Series supplements, and I'm in my training now, and I'm getting ready. I'm doing a big European tour, a big launch out here in April and May, and then I'm going to lock down for the Olympia in June.
Jay, how's that new Jay Cutler Signatures, the Elite Series you got out?
You know what? I've been testing this new product I have right over here called the Legends. It's a pre-workout. It's unbelievable. So I'm excited about it, actually.
And I take it you're involved right from the very ground. I know you like to not just be the face out there, but you actually like to get involved with the formulation and literally know everything about the product.
You know what's funny is, I started working with BPI last summer, and of course I worked under the BPI brands, EXT, obviously a great partnership with GNC, and, all out there. 1MR, of course, is a major product, but, the most important thing is, I got involved with the product lines. They learned what works best for my body. I got to test a lot of different things along the way. So our collaboration together now to come out with the Elite Series now, which took obviously months to do, this is upon us now. The launch is here, and we're ready to take over in 2013.
Well, that's a lot of stuff on the plate, Jay, obviously, for taking on your old buddy Phil Heath, now a 2-time Mr. Olympia, and obviously he's going to do everything he can to make sure you don't get 5, and you're going to do everything you can to make sure you don't get 3.
I mean, it's going to be a tough show, obviously, me coming back and Phil being as great as he is. There's no question. I mean, not including, Kai Green, you got, Branch Warren, who's probably hungrier than ever, Dennis Wolf, you get Victor returning to stage. I mean, all these guys, it's going to be a tough competition. I know a lot of people count me out, but I feel strong. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling back up to speed, and my body's responding pretty well. Obviously, it's going to come down to, how I nail my condition and how big I come into contests. It's going to really compare me to those guys. But I've been there, done it before, and, of course, beat the odds. So I'm really excited to come back and, of course, prove everyone wrong in the process. And just
all the critics.
Yes, I love to prove the critics wrong. You know that.
Well, one thing nobody saw coming was you've actually teamed up with Chad Nichols, an adversary of yours in the past.
You worked with Chad Nichols, right?
Oh, yeah, I did. I got some great stories for you. But, for those who don't know, Chad was in Ronnie's corner for all those years you were chasing Ronnie and all that. And, of course, he was touting Ronnie and didn't have too many kind things to say about you and playing that whole game. So now we got the Apollo Creed Rocky type scenario where he's actually in your corner. How did that come about?
You know what? It's just funny. I mean, these are the guys, that studied me and obviously, watched every move that I made because obviously I was the biggest competitor against their guy they were training. So with us, I think, we came up with a formula that seemed to work, best for both of us. And, I think the best physique I have to come in is obviously a size advantage. Obviously the sharp conditioning that I've been carrying, a couple times in the last few years. Obviously not being at my best, every single Olympia, but I think I can create a really solid package, and I think he's excited. And I wanted to work with a guy solely that's working with me for the Olympia, so all eyes on me. That's the kind of the problem I've had in the past. I really didn't want to have a worry about the next guy that coach was working with. So obviously for me, it's trying to get bigger right now. But I think the most important thing is really just bringing in the best package possible under the circumstance and who I'm standing next to in 2013.
Jay, I've known you many years, and I know that you're pretty realistic when it comes to bodybuilding, be it yourself or even other bodybuilders. You can pretty much call it the way you see it. Does 100% Jay Cutler of the past beat 100% Phil Heath now, or do you have to bring something different? Do you have to be 110%, as my old college coach would like to say?
There's just so many variables that go in, and I mean, we don't even know what the 100% Phil Heath is because he's getting better. People thought 100% they had seen me until 2009. I came back. I mean, people could try to, contradict 2001 to, 2009. It's two different looks, but I think, like I said, it's who you stand next to and competitive with, Kai Greens and Phil Heath. It's the crazy conditioning that has to come with the overall big package. So I don't really want to sit there and make comparisons. I just want to do my best, obviously, to give the biggest opportunity for me to come back and win the show, but most importantly, give the fans what they want to see. And this whole contest is being built, obviously, the Phil return, comeback. But listen, Phil Heath didn't beat me at my best. I tore my bicep 2 weeks before the show. I lost. So yes, he won, but I was damaged. People can say that against Ronnie went, but Ronnie had the chance to come back. He failed at coming back and being competitive. Now I'm given that opportunity, the place where Ronnie was in 2007 when he came back. I'm not going to let these guys down, that's for sure.
And we obviously like to paint the picture of you versus Phil, but the reality is you've got Kai Green, like I say, a lot of these names that you mentioned earlier, and you just saw Dexter Jackson now into his 40s with a better physique than we saw the previous 2 years, now taking his 4th Arnold Classic title. So clearly progress can be made and physiques can be reinvented even into your 40s. I understand you'll be 40 this year, Jay.
I'll be 40 in August. The show's in September. It's only a month apart, but I just like to say, that's right. You can't count anyone out. But right now, looking at the odds, obviously it's stacked. Right. But it's been that way before, and that's how storylines are built. Obviously, it's a wide open show. I'm coming to win, and I will win. That's what I consider my.
And the fact that it matters, if you look at the stats, you haven't taken anything less than second place in 12 years or whatever it's been.
I'm trying to protect that record, man. And I don't want to place another second. I don't have room for any more second place trophies in my house.
Jay, what's the best case scenario for you? You go in, you beat Phil Heath, you win your 5th Olympia. Does that set the stage to ride out on the white horse with the Olympia title and the hand raised in the air and the people standing in in your hometown of Las Vegas? Like, does that set that stage to say, you know what, I'm out, I'm going to retire to champ, or does that just kind of fuel the fire to say, well, maybe 6, like where do you go from there?
What's funny is, we had a discussion after 2011, after I tore my bicep in India. I said, I'll never compete again. And I said, for sure. Now here I am coming back, and I will come back, and the thing is I'm sure probably in your head you're thinking, I wonder if he's going to get up there or not. But I'm coming back, and I told recently in a muscular development interview that's coming out obviously in the next issue, I said I should have a list on a sidebar that says the things that Jay Cutler said he wouldn't do, because there's a whole lot of lists there.
You're supposed to be retired by now too, right?
I was supposed to be finished. I was supposed to be done. And I don't want to say anything. There's no scenario. The scenario is really what comes opportune and what's in front of you, and pretty much I want to keep moving forward and doing a positive thing.
That has to be tempting, though. You have to admit, like I said, you go out with the win. You don't get a whole lot of opportunity. We've talked about that with Ronnie years ago, and maybe he should have kind of taken that opportunity to go out with the standing O in Vegas and all that. That's got to be just so tempting to just do, just because. How many times do you have that opportunity to go out as the winner?
It's just so hard when you come to these events, and I still have the biggest lineups, and the fans are excited about 2013, and obviously I have to look and see what my body can do to perform. But ask Dexter, he probably would have thought the same thing. He wasn't improving for a couple years. I'm sure it loomed in his mind, like, shoot, when this thing's coming to an end, and here he is revived. Who knows what his next move is?
Absolutely.
So it's exciting. This is what we need in bodybuilding. This is stories. Obviously for you, it's something to talk about,
sure.
Which you like to talk a lot, so it's good, right?
You think so?
Yeah. So muscular development, man, this is, you hear it here first. This is where it's all about, and, we're doing big things, and big things over in my camp this year, so I'm excited.
All right, you heard it there first. Right here, folks, on MD. Jay Cutler, 5-time the Strive for 5 is alive and getting it on here at the Arnold Classic.